Alright, so when you open up the Franklin subdrive box, you're going to have the manual set to the side. Remove that. You're going to have your pressure sensor. You're going to have your control drive. So I'm going to take all that out of the box. Open up these 4 screws. Go right back. Alrighty, once you have those 4 screws loosened, you're going to pop the cover. It might look a little bit crazy, but it's really not. On the left side, which will be the first side, if you're looking at the bottom, it'll be the left of the fan with the circle, the other small circle hole. That's going to be the incoming wire from the house, so the power wire. On the right side, you'll have the well wire. So it's very important that you make sure that the well wire has a ground to it. Here, there was only 2 wire with no ground, so I had to run a new line of well wire with a ground, because this box will work without one, but it'll void the warranty if something goes wrong. So go ahead and install your 2 Romex connectors, one at the bottom here, one at the bottom here. Alright, now that you have your 2 Romex connectors here and here, make sure they're fully tight. You're going to open up your pressure sensor. Once you open that up, you'll grab the screwdriver that it comes with. So with this application, if you look at the top, you have a third, half, 3/4, 1, 1 1/2. The only thing you have to adjust and flip in this unit here is a dip switch, depending on what motor you installed outside. So I installed a 3/4, so we'll go here to 3/4, 1, 2, 3. It's the third dip switch. So 1, 2, 3. Go ahead and click that up. You'll feel it. It'll make an audible noise. Make sure that's fully clicked. After you've done that, this unit's set to 50 psi at a constant already. This home winter, we're going to bump it up to about 55, 60. And I'll show you guys how to do that soon. Give me 1 sec. Alright, one thing that people will try not to do, but is very important, is you need to cut and make sure that your wire is the same length. If not, it's a nightmare trying to align those and tighten them down. So go ahead and strip down that casing, make them the same length, and then go ahead and strip your connections. Alright, now that you have Romex in and everything tightened up, go ahead and put a screw on left, right, and a hanger screw at the top, and then you can tighten it down. Next, we're going to loosen all 3 screws there and all 3 screws there. Alrighty, now that we have all the terminals loosened, all 6 of them, we're going to take the house, so the actual power coming from the house, either a switch or a breaker. On the left, we're going to go ahead and install it. You can see line 1, line 2, and the little symbol to the right is going to be ground. Alright, now that we have them in there, go ahead and tighten down the terminals. Once they're tight, go ahead and give it the pull test. Once you see that they're nice and tight, go ahead and tighten up the Romex connector at the bottom. And then go ahead and do the same thing on the right side. Does not matter which line you put on either black, as long as the ground goes in the proper spot. You have your power connected, and you pulled, did your tug test, and tightened up your Romex connectors. What you're going to do is you're going to go in your pressure sensor bag. You're going to grab the pressure sensor cable. These 2 here are going to go through the small hole that was on your incoming wire. Now, it comes with a black, essentially a black Romex connector. What you're going to do is you're going to get it out of the bag. This is your pressure sensor itself. Your new pressure switch. So it's going to be right here. What this does is it's kind of like a shark bite. In a matter of, you're going to unscrew the shark, almost a shark bite Romex connector. You're going to unscrew it. You're going to pop it up through, and then you're going to tighten it on. And the reason I say it's kind of like a shark bite is because once that's on, this little connection here actually has plastic little teeth on it that once you unravel this and you feed this end through, which I can show you. If you can't get it through, it just means you have to loosen it first. Once you get this through, pull it up. You tighten this. Oh, whole thing's spinning. And you tighten this, it won't move anymore. See? So now you're going to, it doesn't matter which side you put on because they're both the same. You're going to take your subdrive screwdriver, loosen the pressure sensor screws, 1 and 2. It's easier if you do them both at the same time. So you'll pop the left one in, the left and the right one in at the same time. Bear with me, it's a pain in the butt. Once they're in, you'll hold the bottom and you'll tighten it down. I need both hands for that, but I'll be right back. Alrighty, so once you have that tight, you're gonna give it the good old pull test. Nice and snug, make sure that's tight. Can't pull anything. Then you're gonna take this little bread tie off and you're gonna run this to where your pressure switch would be. Save this because you're gonna wanna use this to wrap up the extra cord because it comes with about 5-6 feet to make it look nice. Alright, this is called the pressure sensor. These 24-volt prongs, doesn't matter the color, doesn't have to align, and this as the same in the box. All you have to do is you take your pressure sensor and you install it in either port on your control T. Doesn't matter either side, whatever is more convenient, or where the wire will reach better. You'll put tape and dope on it like normal, thread it in, and then you're going to take these 2 prongs. I'll show you with it off. Take these 2 screws, loosen them up, and you'll take the 2 forks from your wire and you'll stick them between the screws and tighten them down. I'll be right back to show you what that looks like. Ready. Once you have those screws all the way on, you're going to pull on them, make sure they're nice and tight. This cap here, you're going to take off, and you're not going to do it yet. You're going to wait until the pump's running. But you're going to grab your subdrive tool. Look at the back end. So not the flathead end, but the back end of it. It should be like a 7/16 nut driver, or not nut driver, but an Allen key. And it fits in there perfect. So remember when I was telling you that the unit is set to 50 PSI from the factory? Well, the way to increase that is there's a spring in here. So when you tighten this down, every rotation is 3 PSI. I'll get back to that in a minute. Now that you've done all that, go ahead and turn the power on. Wait, have your valve turned off. I installed a hydro, so I have it bypassed for the first 5 minutes of runtime to make sure that we don't clog the filter too bad. But go ahead and put the cover on your subdrive. Alrighty, so we're running at 50. We're gonna put this in there, give it some turns. We're gonna be right at 60. So go ahead and put your black cap back on, like that. And then you're gonna take your mushroom top, dry it off if you got it a little bit wet. Just slide it on there, just to protect your connections.